Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BT Talks episode 25. Today, I have the pleasure of having JB Andreassi. A lot of you, I'm sure, know him already. He is a star of Million Dollar Beach House, and he's a real estate rock star with Nest Seekers. As a agent and advisor, he happens to also be a developer, and he's the man in the Hamptons in New York. So he'll be joining very soon, so bear with me. Thanks to everyone who joined. I see Sam, I see John. We've got a lot of people joining. We got Omar from Boca. Yeah, JB's telling me he'll be there soon, so bear with me. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to discuss about a lot of things, from JB's TV show, Million Dollar Beach House, to the Hamptons real estate market, to just real estate in general, to life every day during this pandemic and post-pandemic. So please bear with me. There he is. So I have a few people joining in. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody who is participating in this live. If you happen to have any questions, feel free to put in the comments. We'll try to answer as soon as we can. Hold on, JB is here.
There he is.
Hey, what's up going on? What's up, Benjamin?
Good to see you. Thank you.
For joining this BT Talks, which is now my 25th episode. And I'm having a lot of fun actually doing it. And we didn't have someone from the Hamptons yet. So
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to be a part of this. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. So I'm sure this.
a lot of people who already know you through Million Dollar Beach House. Some may not. And I always start with all the different guests I have, to kind of like introduce themselves and their journey to real estate. I know you've been in real estate for quite a while, actually, but your journey to real estate is quite interesting, and one opportunity led to another. So if you could, introduce yourself and say what you do and where you're at now.
Absolutely. So first of all, thanks for having me. I've been following you and Alvaro's stuff down in the South.
He's a great guy.
He's coming back to Miami soon.
Big fan of you guys and big fan of Miami in general. So excited to be here. So yeah, so I'm a real estate agent in the Hamptons. I do some things in New York City as well, but predominantly my area of expertise is the Hamptons. I've been a real estate agent for about 3.5 years now. And I started in New York City, where I worked for a big development firm called Related Development.
Yep.
And they've done all of Hudson Yards. They manage over 30 different luxury type buildings. So that's
We're
where
big here too in South Florida as well.
What's that?
They're big in South Florida as well.
100%. Yeah, I think it's George Perez. I think it leads the push down there for them. So that's where I got my start. And I've always been interested in the development side of things. So my dad's been a builder in the Hamptons for, goodness, about 35 years now, more than my lifetime. And so I wanted to get more involved in that, kind of day-to-day build-outs, raising capital, figuring out different design elements that fit buyer needs. So that's what led me from New York City back to the Hamptons, where I joined Nest Seekers, but also completed 2 of my own development projects over the last 1.5 years.
That's quite interesting.
I think that's the beauty of real estate. I think, everybody who gets into real estate, whether they're in Hamptons, New York, South Florida, California, has an opportunity to kind of create the business they want, work with the people they want. And, if you have a vision, I mean, you can, in the longer term, become a developer. You can also broker. You can broker locally. You can broker internationally. There's not one way, to get into this business or to do this business. I think everybody has their sauce. And as you can see, there's a lot of movement, pre-pandemic, but also during the pandemic. So how have you experienced, the pre and during pandemic for real estate? Because obviously Hamptons has been a really good market. I mean, for the past few months, it still is.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit about the Hamptons.
Absolutely. So what's interesting is when we shot for this show, which I'm sure we'll get into very
we're going to get there soon.
Show, that was pre-pandemic times, and that was my first year doing real estate in the Hamptons. So this is 2019, which seems like goodness. After everything that took place especially, it seems like years ago now. But it was just last year. And it was a slow time out here. So breaking in and trying to become this big boy, big player, agent, broker out here was pretty difficult. And I think you see in the show, I think you see elements of that. You don't see as many deals closing. You don't see a whole lot of negotiation because for the Hamptons pre-pandemic, that year was a slow year. And we're sort of coming out off of a cycle where from 2012 to 2018, things are really good out here. And then just historically what happens is there's always a dip in the market, whether it's the stock market or it's real estate. And we saw a dip. Now fast forward and we get into early 2020, things completely switched overnight. And I think what happened in February, March, when the pandemic became a thing of concern and an item that a lot of folks had their eyes on, we didn't know which way it was going to go. Was it going to get worse out here? Was it going to get better? But what happened was a lot of individuals, a lot of clients that we've been working with in the city, they wanted to pick up immediately and get out to the Hamptons or places of luxury that they can kind of replicate their space in the city, get out there as soon as possible and immediately and get their family to safety. So that's what we saw. And a lot of my rentals that, people came out and I said in March, I'm not going to get involved with the rental stuff. It would seem like too short term that everyone wanted.
Well, now the rentals are
hot. Like rentals are hot everywhere. Even Miami, it's crazy. I mean, it's like
off the charts. And that's what happened. It was rentals that turned into sales. So this year, in pandemic mode, we are just like, we're seeing numbers and transactions that we've never seen in the Hamptons before. And it's just about like staying on top of it. And we're very like sensitive to what's going on in the city. A lot of my buddies are in commercial real estate in the city and residential real estate, and they're hurting a little bit.
yeah.
It all comes back. It's New York City, just like Miami. It's
Yeah, I know, and I've been in real estate business now for 4 years. So and I'm licensed in both states, and I actually started in New York City. And New York City, is a very dynamic market, and I think because of the change of lifestyle that people want because of this pandemic, they're going to the Hamptons, they're going to South Florida, they're going to different areas where they can kind of really change their lifestyle, have a quality life. Obviously, in our markets, it's kind of like a season market. Like now, it's winter, so the Northeast is coming, to South Florida and the Hamptons. Everybody's there, in most of the summer. But New York will come back. I mean, people are attached to New York. It's just going to be a process, I think. People are going to start, renting in markets like Hamptons. They already started, or Florida, buying properties. It probably have like pied-à-terre, in New York, or invest in New York, because right now there's a lot of good opportunities in the city for the people who have the money.
That's a great point, Ben. It's just like we're seeing that now. It's people are buying low. People that have capital and connections, they take advantage of markets when they're at their most vulnerable point. And we're seeing it already start to happen in New York City. We're not at the bottomed out point yet there, but I think a lot of people, we've seen transactions and numbers start to pick up there just in the last month or so. So yeah, to your point, that happens.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to get to the show. So let me see if I can add an image of the cast. There we go. So
there we go.
I made it work. So this is the cast of $1 Million Beach House. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got the opportunity to join this show and a little bit about all the cast members? I watched the show. I loved it. I mean, I think, to be honest, very honest, all the different real estate reality shows are lots of fun. Some may love it, some may not. But this one it's too bad it was 5 or 6 episodes, I think. So yeah. I'm looking forward to the second season, hopefully. But I think it was very cool because you can get to see, obviously some beautiful properties, the whole process, and all your personalities from the clan. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
I think that's the best way of describing us as a cast. It was like a breath of fresh air. We were all 7 of us and the 5 core members of the cast had never been in front of a camera ever. So you gotta understand that this was like as authentic and real as it gets. And it's really was just a concept to show what real estate agents go through in trying to break in and develop relationships and get, represent properties and sell out in the Hamptons, which is historically been one of the most competitive places to do so.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that, you know, with me, I got my start just because of my roots. I'm a local to Southampton. My mom's like a, you know, fifth generation Irish woman. They used to like farm potatoes and stuff out here, which I don't really see anymore. She's like totally, that was way in her past, but, or an ancestors past. But point being is like, I grew up in this community and we're a big part of this community. We get back to the church. We have different charity organizations.
I see Peggy is here. So she's like, JB.
Oh, Peggy's here?
Yeah.
Yeah, Peggy's killing it too. I think it was a really cool inside look into the Hamptons and what makes this place so special, and to show some of these like 5, 10, $20 million homes that a lot of people around the world, yes, they've heard of the Hamptons, but this is the inside look into what goes into making this place so highly respected, why celebrities own here or rent here and flock out here in the summer. And I think, I think they, you know, production did a good job of really highlighting some of the.
Like you said, I think it's fantastic, again, to see, you know, some young real estate entrepreneurs from different backgrounds and showcasing some of the most beautiful properties in the world. I mean, the properties in the Hamptons are just stunning. I went there a few times, and it's just a very unique place. Obviously, people live there, you know, part of the year, but it's very unique.
Where did you stay when you were here?
What is it?
Where were you when you were here? What town?
I mainly know Southampton, so I went around there, and I went to Montauk. But I was in Southampton, I think it was 2 years ago for the World Soccer Cup.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was fun. I went with actually a friend of mine who's also an agent in the city. She has a place there. And it was so much fun. There was also this, I forgot the name of the place, but there was a super cool like restaurant in front of a lake. Maybe you know, in Southampton. Very hip, very cool place.
Yeah, no, it's really, I mean, it's really something special up here. And you guys I say down.
We're lucky too.
Like, yeah, we love it up here. We're kind of used to it and numb to it. Us being able to go down there, and even some of the guys on the show, Michael, who's a cast member, and James Giuliano, we're actually planning a trip to come down. Hopefully, you know, this second wave doesn't really hurt us too much, but definitely want to get down there and take a look at what you guys got going on.
No, it's great. And it's something, you know, I truly enjoy connecting with agents from all over, you know, like you, whether they're from the Hamptons or New York City or California. I also have great friends that are in Dubai, some in Turkey, in different places. And I think it's, as you know, this business is about, you know, relationships and having trust with all the agents we work with. I mean, we're kind of, you know, we're friends, we're clients, you know, we all work together. And, you know, I mean, I'll have trips up to the Hamptons, you'll come to Florida. And I think at the end, it's like, you know, we can all send each other referrals, advise each other. We're in great places. With what's going on in the world, I can say, you know, the Hamptons in South Florida are in their own little bubble. You know.
I know, I'm totally with you. And I think you kind of touched on the international aspects of your business and kind of in us as well. And I think that's really what helped, you know, this show really leveraged those like synergies that you see and you can't really tap into unless a platform like Netflix presents you and kind of your business.
That's huge. Yeah, of course.
I mean, we have people all over the world that have know who Nest Seekers is, who me and Peggy and Mike and Noel are. And it's super cool to like just see that there's like this commonality between individuals like us, young, hungry, driven kind of entrepreneurs, so to speak, and that exists in every single part of the world. And it's
so you got to follow my good friend Yogev under Yogi. He's in Tel Aviv. So if ever, you know, you have someone in Israel, beyond all, he's a great guy. And he's one of the best there. And he sells the most beautiful homes in Israel.
I'll definitely be following him after this.
There you go. Thank you again. Appreciate it. No. So now we're going to come to one of your listings, which is fantastic. I'm going to put a few images, which is 143 Dune Rd. There we go. How beautiful is this property? I'm going to put out a few images of it so you guys can see it. But tell us about this unique property.
Yeah, sure. So 143 Dune, it's in Westhampton Beach. So it's right on Dune Road, which is one of the, I guess it's like the most luxurious or kind of the most kind of wealthiest area of Westhampton Beach, if you will. Now, the cool thing about this property, it's a so what the style is a modern, right? And in Westhampton, and what a lot of people saw on the show and in the Hamptons, they look at this traditional build, which is more of like kind of the peaks of a home, and it's more what you'd see in the 90s and 2000s. But this home is a modern build, sandwiched in between a lot of traditionals there. And the modern kind of, just for people that don't know this, a modern's kind of a lot more glass and sleek and sophisticated.
This is the view, direct view on the ocean.
You have your own walkout to the ocean. I mean, it's insane. Yeah, these are great.
Yeah.
Great little walk through here. And this one in particular, 5-bedroom, 5.5 bath, has a gym and a theater in the basement, which is tough to do by the ocean. Not a lot of builders are able to achieve that. But yeah, this is a super nice home. It's listed for $8 million. We've gotten a couple bites on it. No one's finally, fully pulled the trigger just yet, but we're getting close. And the builder is one of the most respected builders in Westhampton and really all the Hamptons for that matter. And yeah, I'm excited to be representing it. And for those who saw the show, I went from last year not really having any listings to now, I've done over 10 sales this past year, and this is one of my nicest properties I represent. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
Of course, no, that is something, again, it gives you huge exposure. And then obviously, it's like when you're on a TV show or even social media shows or, YouTube, and you're consistent and you bring up things, you get a lot of attention, and then you get connected to developers, architects, designers, new clients, all these different things. And I think that's the beauty of also technology, where, technology and just media all over, and you kind of be yourself, you're JB, you're in the Hamptons. Hold on, I think there is a question here.
Oh.
Let me check this. Okay, that's it. Hold on, I'll respond right after. Let me show a last photo. Look at this. I love this house.
Yeah, the spine staircase. I mean, everything is done just so exceptionally well.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So that's the beauty of it, and I think that's little by little, especially when you're relatively new, if I can say, to the business. We're not in the business for 10 years, 15 years, but that doesn't mean we cannot sell multi-million-dollar homes. I think, that's a big thing, especially today. I think obviously there's a lot of top agents. They've been in the business for 10, 15, 20 years, and that's great. They have their relationships. They have their ways of doing business. But now there's a new breed, like us. There's a new breed. Yeah. And, we understand all the different, mediums to market a property, to reach out to, ultra high net worth. It's about also being in all the different places. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, it slowed us down, and we're in the people business. So what we do best is being in front of people. So now we have measures, it's limited and all of that, but we still have, we can have exposure through social media. And obviously now we can show property through FaceTime, So that's the beauty of 2020.
Absolutely. No, and I think doing things like this, Benjamin, is super important too, just to really fully connect and collaborate. And there's a lot of individuals like us that are looking to make that next jump, or even just take their real estate test and become a part of this kind of like-minded community that's really intrigued by homes and properties and values, and really make a difference within the community. And we kind of forget about this. Find people their home that they're going to raise their family in. That's the coolest part. You're helping people kind of form memories and some of the best memories of their lives. So that's forgotten about a lot, but that's important as well.
Yeah, and again, luckily, this whole pandemic showed the importance of home more and more, wherever you live in the world. Whether you live, in the Hamptons or upstate New York or South Florida or anywhere in the country, the importance of having space, the importance of spending memorable times with your family and friends. Because now we can have, also your home office. You can have your home gym. There's new technologies arriving for the home, So it's true, and we love people. I think that's the number one thing. There's my good friend Daniel Daggers, who is in London. He's Mr. Super Prime, and he said something the other day, which was very simple but true. The top real estate brokers love people more than they love real estate. And I think that's true. As much as we love beautiful homes, you got to love people, you know?
100%. No, I'm the same way. I'm very outgoing, as you can see, and you are too. Very outgoing. I love to meet new people. Like, I'm like one of those guys. I enjoy like going to dinner and just like with a random stranger, and like and just getting to know them. That's a good point. I never really thought.
Yeah, I have my friend Sam who says vibe attracts to tribe, and that's true. You know.
I saw that pop up, and I'm like, I want to keep that. I like that line a lot. That's cool.
Of course, 100%. So. We're coming almost to the end. One of my questions is, what is your favorite thing about the Hamptons, living and working in the Hamptons? Is there anything specific?
Yeah, and it's just so cliche. It really is.
It's okay if it's cliche, but yeah.
I grew up on the beach. The reason I left the city partly was to be able to like get that fresh air and be able to like on my lunch break, like we're in the Nest Seeker's office right now. I could drive 5 minutes and be looking at one of the nicest ocean beaches in the country. Like, so for me, it was like the beaches. And then, I think just like a lot of people don't know this either. It's just like the community aspect that's here. Like, I'm not talking about just the summer, but
you have to have a community. You have to. I mean,
you have to have that like identity. And I think each town has their own little local kind of identity. And Southampton, where I grew up, certainly has that with some of like the, again, the charities and the Little League and things like that really, in the schools that really make it something special. And the parades we do, just things like that. But ultimately, bottom line, it's the beaches for me.
I agree. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, here in Miami. I mean, I enjoy every single day, every moment. I'm like, okay, I can, when I drive, past the causeway and you see all this blue ocean and the city of Miami. And it's amazing. The morning when I go run, I see the sunrise. It's the little things, but I think the connection to the water is incredible.
The one thing you guys have, though, you guys have the palm trees. We don't have palm trees.
That also is actually
palm trees are nice.
That is also. I have a good friend and agent who actually had on the show. She was telling me, like, I moved with my husband here. She was from Maryland or Virginia. And she was saying that, we just fell in love with the palm trees. Like, the palm trees has this kind of like,
It's just like that tropical, like, you're okay, you're on vacation kind of feel. I love it. As you can see, I'm itching to get down there. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you'll let me know when you get down. The last question I have is, what is the most rewarding thing for you as an entrepreneur and real estate agent, advisor? Because I know everybody has something different. And again, there's no cliches, but what is the most, because we have to be, we have to show what is the most rewarding thing for us.
Yeah, I think if you asked me this question before the show 6 months ago, I probably struggle to find an answer. But now it's been like with my platform, I have a lot of people reaching out for mentorships and things, and just like people wanting to know how they can get either get into the real estate world or take their real estate career to the next level. Yeah. And people look at me as like sort of a leader in that space, which I never would have thought that would be. But a lot of people, I guess, connected with me from the show. And it's the show's allowed me to have this opportunity to like just guide people through this weird and windy path to a real estate career. And I'm so thankful and gracious that people receive me that way, and also that I'm able to kind of give back in that sense. So I think it's just kind of that mentorship aspect that really makes this what I do valuable. And then the other thing is just my brother, he's like the project manager on the properties we build, and just seeing him grow into it and develop this love and passion is really cool as well.
That's great. I think it's also great to work with family, if I can say. I mean, it doesn't work always with everybody. But actually, no, it doesn't. But in some cases, I'll do a little parenthesis. I actually have a very good friend who will be on the show soon, who has a family business of real estate. They sell the most beautiful properties in Paris and in France.
Wow.
And it's the mother, the father, their 4 brothers. 3 of the brothers work, and they work together. Now they're hiring people. They've been in the business. The parents, they started it 15 years ago by accident. The brothers got into it a few years ago, and they actually got their own TV. It's in French, but the brothers actually got their own, TV show. I'll send you information about it. But they have their own TV show in France, and it got huge popularity. And now they're getting the same thing, new opportunities, and you can see the family life, mixed up with the business life, which is really cool.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm hoping. That's really cool. I'm hoping to bring those elements to season 2. I'm hoping that I think you'll see a little bit more family and kind of like personal elements added as well. I'm excited.
Yeah. We have hello from Germany. We also have someone asking. They just got the real estate license as an 18-year-old. Best advice.
Best advice. Talk to as many people that you know are real estate agents. Reach out. Go to networking events. There's a lot of different networking events that you can go to. Jump on lives like this that are so easily accessible. But mine would be just to get uncomfortable. It's like get comfortable with being uncomfortable, meaning like go talk to people and like reach out to me, to Peggy, people like us and Benjamin, and we'll help you through it.
For sure. I think it's just really, so Cameron, to answer also your question, it's really being true to yourself, reach out to people, and obviously learn the market you're in, know it very well. I think that's very important. It makes a big difference. And just meet people, and it'll make a big, big difference.
Well said.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, JB, thank you so much for being a wonderful guest here. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in Miami soon.
I think I come to Miami first, and we get you guys up here in the summer.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you, JB. Have a great one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.